Hi all, my name is Kassi Gregory. I'm an intuitive artist and I also run intuitive art classes. Today I'm going to talk about the most important relationship in your life, and that's with yourself. It can be the most powerful, intuitive relationship, and you can make it work for you. But like with all relationships, sometimes it can become complicated and sometimes it can become difficult. And the problem with this is you can't get a break with it. You can't just break up with yourself. You can't get space from yourself. You're with yourself all the time. So, the best thing you can do is to learn to live in harmony with who you are. And if you're there 90% of your time, you can really make life work with for you, not against you. And the first step to that is learning to communicate with who you are. Communication in any relationship is going to be your number one. I think I spelled that wrong. Sorry. Number one strength with who you are as a person. So, communication leads to happiness. So that may seem like common sense to any relationship you have in your life, and sometimes communication can be blocked and all that kind of stuff. But the communication with yourself, like how do you communicate with yourself? Because we all have a lot of little aspects of self and a lot of little parts of ourselves. Some are quite beautiful in essence and powerful, but other parts are not so desirable. Just talking about Pete, like the inner critic, the one that says, well, I don't think we're enough for this. But we're going to learn to work with things like that through art. So, this is why I teach art therapy. It's just to learn how to communicate with yourself without judging those self, just to allow yourself to be without those little aspects of self jumping in saying that this is silly, this is stupid, can't do this. This is why art therapy is good because you're just in the process of creating. And any parts of creating is a strong bridge to communicate to who you are. And why I'm a fan of creativity, because creativity is the key of living the life that you need to live, not what we need to do outside of life. Like, we all need to pay bills and all this kind of stuff. And there's a constant racing with trying to keep up with what the world wants from us. But I love creativity because it takes us back. It gets us back in tune with ourselves and reminds us of the responsibility for ourselves. And usually, a difficult relationship rises because we are not having a relationship with ourselves. We're not communicating with ourselves. We're not nurturing ourselves. We're too busy racing to help other people, or we're in survival mode. So, this is why I'm an artist. This is why I draw, because it just reminds me of who I am uniquely. It also helps me communicate with who I am and what's going on in my world. Um, and it also makes me feel connected to my spiritual self and my spiritual essence and the way the world feels like for me. And I'm hoping to encourage other people to get in contact with creativity so they can feel what it feels like and looks like to have a good relationship with themselves and to coexist with their inner world as well. So, I do art therapy every day for myself, intuitive art every day. I just draw, don't think, just draw, and I see what comes up for myself for today. I don't judge it if it feels dark, I just do. If it feels wonderful and light, I just draw, and that's all it needs to do. We will talk to the picture later. That's how we create the communication with our art. Or if you need to do it while you're doing it, just recognize any feelings, aspects of self that comes up during the picture. And I believe that we all have our own signature, and we can get more confident with this signature by just trusting that communication with ourselves, just knowing that this is the best way to show what's going on internally. So I'm just going to do myself a one today. I don't know what's going to come up because I haven't pre-planned this. I just woke up this morning after a dream, and it just made me realize that the importance of the relationship with ourselves. Oh, I could tell you quickly my dream. I got lost in the supermarket. I went to try some clothes on. Somehow my shirt went missing, and I was stuck in that change room making the decision of, do I just feel stuck here, or do I just walk out in my bra and trying to get something else? I had no money on me in my dream. I don't know why, even though I was trying on clothes. But then I was pulled up by a policeman, and then I had to explain to him, someone stole my shirt. I didn't want to be stuck. I wanted to go out there and get help. You can arrest me or you can help me get a shirt. I think it'd be easier if you help me get a shirt. I love my dreams. They're not rational, but it just makes me realize what's going on with me too. And it just made me feel like I made that choice to trust myself in my dream, to walk out and expose myself to the world just so I can move forward and not be stuck in that change room. I think that's a big message. So I'm just going to go forward with this and see what comes up beyond that. And plus, this makes me feel really awesome to start my day before work, because it just makes me feel like I've really created something, even if it doesn't match out to be a piece of work. It just makes me feel that I've done something fun. And you can see, even though I'm a really good artist, that I can not make things look like things too. But this is how I start a lot of my artwork, is just expressing who I am and how I feel, and things come out of it. Like so a lot of my ideas. This is how I do my spirit drawings. Um, I just let things happen. Like I usually do adjust things just so they look visually appealing for people. But I just let it all channel through, and that's what we need to do. It's good to have color when you do this exercise too, because colors mean different things to different people. Like you can look it up online what colors mean, but it's more about the communication with yourself. See, now I'm talking to myself. It's like, well, this kind of reminds me of a frog with pink and green smarties coming out of his mouth. A very happy frog. Doesn't matter if you draw over things or anything like that, because these are all the stories that are coming to you as you draw. Any words come up, just put them down. Like, I don't know why this came up, but I got help me. And if anything like that comes up, just ask, help me with what? You can talk to yourself while you do this because, as I said, this is a very personal situation. Okay, I just asked, help me with what? Help me with leading. I can sort of just follow on with that. Like, what do I need help with? And keep myself talking to it. Like, help me with leading. Okay, so just listen to the first thing that comes to your mind. Um, Mine was, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable with leading just because I am kind of an introvert in ways. Like, I love people, but sometimes I feel that if I'm leading all the time, that maybe my energy will run just because I do give so much. So, but the thing is, I don't have to be like that. But these are just one of the insecurities I have because being a leader, you just have to be there for people. It's not about people taking your energy. It's just, you just need to be open with people and help them the best you can. Um, I've always been a quiet artist sitting in the background and just enjoying doing my art, but I've just got a kick to from the universe to get out of my shell and just sort of bring the best of who I am to the world. So this little froggy that I've have designed has brought that out of my shell. It's like, there you go. That's an insecurity of mine. I'm scared that people might take too much from me, even though I know that's irrational, but it could happen, and it's probably something that stems from my childhood. If you want to, it's like you can ask other aspects of yourself, why are you drawing? Why do I feel this way? Or what can I do about it? Because just even though you got these little self-doubting self, you got these wonderful wiser parts of yourself as well that are here to be there for you and help with the bridge. And sometimes spirit does come through. Sometimes your guides do come through. That's going to be one of my classes. I think it's going to be my next one, is teach you to create that connection with your spirit self or your spirit animal so you can learn about that communication with them. So, let's see. The answer I got there was just give it a go. Just get out there and let people show you who they really are and how beautiful they are. That, no one's taking from you that you don't want them to take. It's just your fear. And the great thing about this is you'll never know what comes out. Like, I can have planned drawings and all that kind of stuff, but I just think this guy, even though it looks like he comes from Sesame Street or a children's drawing, he's so colourful and alive for me, and I kind of love him. And I love him because I know this is a part of me trying to communicate with me about an important issue. And you have control too. Like, just say at the moment what I'm doing now is I'm drawing a love heart on him just to send him love, to say thank you for coming to visit me today. I really needed this lesson and I'm very grateful for it. Thanks. Okay, so you can see this drawing is not a fine art thing, but it's really expression of who I am today and how I'm feeling today. And by just drawing then you can see that it came up with so much for me, and I can continue to talk to this drawing about what's happening today. Like, if I look close to me, he seems a bit manic and stuck to me. Like, it's going to be different for everyone. You can just see a happy thing, but at the moment he just like looks a bit manic and stuck. The only time I looked at it, it stops being a frog. It actually looks like this is his nose here, and he doesn't look as happy as I thought. So it looks like there's a part of me that's kind of sad about where my life's at, and I can say that, and I can ask, why do I feel sad about life? It's like because I expected to be somewhere else. But that's perfect because then you can keep the conversation up. Like, you can even ask, why did I choose these colors? And the first answer that came to me is because over all the sadness, I try to show how much color there is in the world and all that kind of stuff. And that's true. That's your personality. You are positive in that. But my picture itself is just saying, honor your sadness too. Honor these little parts of you that are not feeling so great, and you will feel better. So I just gave myself an intuitive arts therapy session, and I came up with so much. I didn't want this to be long, and I've just seen it's already been 15 minutes, but I'm just showing you why this is important intuitive art and how art therapy works on a minimal scale. Obviously, there's a lot more work that comes through with art things, but just for people who haven't had the opportunity to learn about art therapy, I just wanted to show you the power it has and why it works so well with children, because a lot of children, even through trauma, have a lot of trouble just talking about things that are hurting inside. So by them drawing and talking to that drawing just gives them that disconnection enough to feel safe. And that's why it's very successful with children. And plus, children don't have that judgmental side of feeling silly when they just create. They just create. And they think it's fun. And I think it's so bad that we've lost that essence of ourselves, that thinking being creative is fun, because as adults, we need it more than ever, especially when we have to be so responsible for everyone else, but we forget about ourselves. So this is a part of learning how to be responsible for ourselves. I've learned so much just through doing this drawing that I have an insecurity of leading because I'm scared people might take advantage of me, even though I know on a surface level that is so untrue, and I love people and I love giving to people. Obviously, that's something that's happened in the past, and there's a part of me that's sad, but I just cover it up in happiness. But I know I need to talk to that part of me that's sad, and later I could probably just do a picture of that part of me that's sad and just have that chat with it and see why it's sad and just learn to love that part of me. Anyway, I love yous all. Have a good afternoon. Mwah.